the June meeting here in Warrialga. Call for apologies. So we have an apology from Councillor Adrian Wilmot. Okay, now we'll move on. Can I have a mover that the minutes from the ordinary meeting held on the 21st of May 2026 and the extraordinary meeting held on the 1st of June 2026 as circulated be taken and read as confirmed. Could I have a mover? Councillor Bishton and Councillor Sherman. Those in favour say aye. Is there anyone that would like to declare an interest in any of the items on the agenda today? No? Okay. First up, can I have a mover and a seconder that we move item 9.9, the hired grader purchase, to confidential meeting, please? Councillor Crump and Councillor Crispin. Those in favour say aye.
Can it be confidential, Madam Mayor, if it's already been out there? Or was it a special report?
The discussion around the report can be confidential, sir.
Can I please have a motion that council consider the late items financial assistant grant reallocation plant replacement, and it has been considered in the officer's report. Can I have a mover that we add that one? Councillor Coleman and Councillor Crump. Those in favour say aye. Thank you. First up, I'm just going to officially welcome our new General Manager to our first meeting, because this is the first meeting as a permanent GM, and we're looking forward to lots and lots. So welcome, Leah, and a big congratulations from everyone in the room.
Thank you for your faith.
Now on page 5, I would like to move the mayoral minute be noted for information. Is there any questions on that? Everyone's read that? Okay, could I have a seconder on that, please? Councillor Coleman. Those in favour say aye. Okay, we move on to item 9.1, the Executive Services Report on page 9. And Leah Daly, our General Manager, will take any questions on this.
Staffing numbers fall under this section. Yes, can definitely talk about them. I just asked what our current staffing numbers are. I would have to get back to you, but I certainly can provide a report to the next meeting. I'm not sure what it the level time would be at the moment. It changes so rapidly.
240. 240, I think it was.
For all at council? 240 would be the number of staff, but the equivalent full time, which is probably the figure that means the most, I will bring back to the next meeting.
We sent it to you too, didn't
Yeah.
we? I'll find out and let you know.
Any more questions on this report? No? Okay. The officer's recommendation is that the report be received. Could I have a mover, please? Councillor Crispin and a seconder, Councillor Sherman. Those in favour say aye. We move on to item 9.2 on page 16, Corporate and Community Services Report, and Helen Thomas, our CFO, will take questions on this.
I have a question. So, Facebook pages. So there's the council Facebook page. Then there's also a Bingra page, and then a Warrior Place of Honey page. Would they be considered like our tourism pages, or they're just there?
They're probably just there because they were historically. I think the focus or the intention was that they're our tourism pages, because the feedback that we were getting was that people didn't identify Bingra with Gwydir Shire or Warialda with Gwydir Shire. So historically, I think that's why they have evolved to where they are now. But I feel myself that they're not doing the job.
The same posts that are on the Gwydir Shire Council page are being pushed into those two pages.
Yes.
There's nothing different. And I just think it's a really big lost opportunity tourism wise. When we would have so many stock photos and videos on file, and you could easily do like a month's worth of scheduling of posts highlighting different things across the Shire. And I would be more than happy to help whoever with that kind of thing, or even getting in there and scheduling it. But I just think it's a really huge lost opportunity. I know when we were at the tourism conference, I think it was Port Macquarie, we're talking about like a new way that they were branding Port Macquarie, and talking about like the way that they were pushing it through social media. And it kind of prompted me to look on the Warialda and the Bingra pages, and it's like, yeah.
We can definitely make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, even if it's like, there is so much you could do with it, but even if it's just, you know, using all the stock images we've got,
Which we do, and videos, we've got
Yes.
stuff. So
Yeah.
I will get that action and let you know.
And as
If you're serious about your offer to help, it would be great if we sat down and you could share what you're thinking and we can work on it together. So let's do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
That's-
Thank you.
Rach and I discovered at that conference, and it's always my favourite conference because you always come home feeling motivated, don't you? There's a lot that we can do that we spoke about. We've got a great idea, but we'll talk about that in confidential.
Well, yeah, even, I mean, we get so excited when we see people posted on Facebook about, you know, great experiences they've had like along the river and on the big camping pages, and it gets shared like so widely. We could be doing that ourselves, and, you know, promoting Shire facilities ourselves, and it just, it's not kind of getting done.
We need to do a lot of work in tourism. We need to package our tourism attributes for the whole of the Shire. We need to focus on ecotourism, things that we have that is the trendy thing at the moment. And we've got so much to offer as council. We just need to pull it all together and then promote it really well. And I don't know how many of you would see the posts on the Warialda Historical Society at the moment. Are they photos from the old Warialda Standard?
A lot of them, yeah, there would have been, because there were just boxes and boxes of, obviously, in or digital time.
Yes.
You would actually have to take the photo, develop the photo, so you'd have the actual physical photograph, and that was what was used in newspaper. And so all of those photographs just got put in boxes, and there was a heap of boxes, and I'd say that they've just been,
It's
council just donated it to the Historical Society, and they've just been pulling those out and digitising them, I think.
And every couple of days, you know, I look forward to
Yeah.
the next one to see who's in it. That's
Yeah.
how sad I am. But
a lot of this generating this page.
yeah, exactly. But the interest it's generating it has been a lesson for me to see how something so simple can be so effective.
After you guys left the meeting last night, we talked to Jason, you know, the guy who did the Bingra markets, and he was saying they ended up getting 70,000 hits on that market thing because they started off with bare still photos of the band or some music stuff. And then it just sort of, I'm not sure how it works, but it just sort of rotated and she was getting along. And then they started doing some posts for the markets and in a store hop. Anyway, it just got 70,000 hits, so that seems like a pretty good deal. And he's actually quite clever with those sorts of things, maybe on the Bingra side.
Certainly on our radar, and thank you for your offer to help, and we'll certainly take it. So,
With our positions vacant, we're getting 10,000 views. That's pretty impressive. Are they resulting in people applying?
10,000.
it's been really, the last two jobs that come to my mind, the growth and development job, is that what we called it? So the economic development job. How many did you have for that?
25 to 27, something like that.
And 19 were good,
Yeah.
you know. And the customer service job is another one that that's just closed, that we have a lovely pool of people to choose from.
We did have 19 applicants and only one that wasn't seeking visa or international
Yeah.
routes. So that's phenomenal. Like it's crazy, but it's great.
Yeah, no, it's right. And for your sake, Pip, with the cake at the opening of the admin centre, I'm glad 13,276 people didn't turn up that viewed the invitation on Facebook.
So am I.
The other good thing I saw in this, I don't know whether you all read it, about our Smart and Skill program has been extended into the 30th of June 2029. That works really well for us. When Leah spoke last night about how lucky we are to be growing our own and we don't have vacancies like other shires have vacancies. So that's pretty impressive.
There is a quoted the figure. We've got 48 apprentices and trainees currently on our books, which is phenomenal for the size of our workforce and the opportunities that brings for young people in our community. So
Yeah, I said over 40 at this 2020 meeting last night, and Rick challenged me. He didn't think it was that far. I said, no, I think
48 we have.
You can go back and tell him it's right.
Yes. We'll see. I'll even send him an email if you like. Yeah, 48 we have, and it's one of the things I'm most proud of, and as councillors we should be too, because we're not only strengthening our workforce and providing succession planning for us, and we're working to make, well, our community stronger, skills-wise, but also the local government industry. So many people have come through our doors and gone on to bigger and positions in other local governments. So we're doing our bit, and it should be something you're quite proud of. I know I am.
The Roxy 3-year lease, that's great.
Oh,
And the Shire.
good to see. It's fabulous.
it's going to be great for our waistlines because I got a copy there before. It's just got homemade scrolls and chocolate fudge cake.
aren't we having another business going there as well? I think that hybrid thing, it's good to try something different. A couple of revenue sources, or a couple of reasons for people to go in there and hopefully 10 more dollars.
Complement each other. There used to be one in Inverell like that, the bookshop at the front and then the coffee shop at the back, and it did really well. So I think they complement each other.
It'd be a lovely place to visit.
And it's been well supported. Mark said this morning that, she's had way more, but they ran out yesterday. So I think that just shows the support in town for it being open, which is great.
The first day she said, I thought we'd have a soft opening and you couldn't get in the door. That was her soft opening. So it's just so nice to see the Roxy alive again.
And I think that it's the venue that brings everyone, because everybody loves to see that old cafe. With back to the apprentices and that, like Clarissa puts in a lot of work for that, and I'm trying to talk her into putting it up so we get nominated for an award with it, because when we did that presentation at Country Mayors, we had lots of phone calls after that, didn't we, about how we do that, like from other councils, and they weren't just ones in our area, they were ones out of our area as well. Any more questions on this? No? Could I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor Sherman and Councillor Coleman. Those in favour say aye. Okay, move on to page 46, item 9.3, technical services report. And Alex Eddy, our Director of Engineering Services, will take questions on this.
Copper Creek Road upgrade is a pleasure to drive on, Alex.
It's gone from being comfortably the worst sealed road in the Shire to easily one of the best.
The other day.
Some good feedback there, and that's still running considerably under budget. And there's also an additional $1.3 million of disaster recovery funding money that was allocated to that road, which we're in talks with the Reconstruction Authority at present about how we can incorporate that into the works that we've done and perhaps extend its scope a little bit further.
There's a lady that chased me down the other day. What road was that? And she was doing the mail
Oh, Tucker Road.
road, and she said, I just want to give you some good feedback. I drive on that every day, and it's so much better. And she don't even know where I was, and she chased me down and found me. Just say that to the staff. So that's
I'll make a correction. North Star Road rehabilitation, we've said that it was a 3 kilometre section, and that was the intention initially. But the rain that we've had in the last 6 weeks or so, and what's forecast for the next 7 days, has been real nuisance rain. It's probably been very good for the farming community, but slow soaking rain on open road works has really slowed us up. So that 3 kilometre section's been brought back to 2, but we can kick off in the new financial year and continue along with what we plan to do this financial.
can you talk about the award you got nominated for? Because that's
Sure. Justin, the Mayor, and I attended the Local Government Excellence Awards about a fortnight ago. And we were nominated as a finalist for an initiative we called Produce to Pavement, and it essentially packaged up the 100 kilometres of dirt road we've turned into bitumen over the last 5 years. We're in a category for shires under 100,000 people. We didn't get highly commended. We didn't get a prize. We walked away empty-handed, but it was nice to be a finalist all the same. And I think that it was it's a pretty considerable amount of work. It was a 30% increase to our sealed local roads network, and I don't think many shires could say that they've done that in the last 5 years. So, award or not, I think it was a pretty good achievement.
I think you've got to be proud of it because we were in the population under 100,000. We're a long way from 100,000, and we made finals.
First prize for their shop.
I'll have to take that question on notice, Councillor Coleman.
What it says you're up against.
Yeah, it was a big.
Wasn't the wetlands.
They want another category.
No, they won another category.
It's a real shame though, isn't it, that our award was put in under 100,000, you know,
And that's the only two
it's
categories.
not recognised.
Over, under and over.
Yeah.
And what you could do with the income from a population of 100,000, the rates income between a Tamworth and versus a Gwydir,
Yeah.
what they could do is almost unachievable for us at times.
Well, the opportunities that they've got alone just with advertising, the revenue that they can make it compared to what we can,
Parking meters.
Yeah.
exactly, yeah. Yes.
Right. I thought it was a pretty big thing to make a finalist in that category.
Very well. Well done.
Congratulations.
The new Warrior of the Ball, mate, can you explain what money we still need to make it happen? I was under the impression the Minister said that she'll give what we need to make it happen.
The Minister did. So when the Mayor and I met with the Minister 18 months or so ago, we floated a figure of $500,000. And to quote her verbatim, 500,000 is not a lot of money, which made me think we should have said $1 million, but 500,000 was the figure. The deed that we entered into with Department of Climate Change, Energy, Environment and Water was for the test bore, and the messaging when we entered into that deed was there would be a variation once the test bore was done. That would incorporate the funding for the production bore and the associated infrastructure with it. We do have to apply for it again. Every indication has been that the money's there and it's committed, but there still is an application process to go through before I could look you in the eye and say we're guaranteed to get it.
Yes, I'm glad we got PFAS first because so many shires have had it up and to get ahead of the curve.
They didn't get the help we got from the Minister, did they?
And I think, the biggest win for Warrior with respect to PFAS is that we were able to find that only half our work was impacted by it, and we had to go a stone's throw out of town to drill a test bore that was PFAS free.
Yeah.
I think Narrabri has had almost the opposite experience.
Yeah, that's right. And if you're nominating things for awards, nominate your truck wash. I don't think there's never a time I go past that no one could.
Unfortunately, we missed the boat, or else we would have. The awards have to be for works constructed in the previous year. You might fix a pothole there and re-enter it.
Plant a tree or something.
It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
In the last month, that's a lot of trucks.
How many?
When they're 147.
If we were to do something creative with the waste from the truck wash, like have a turf farm, so we're using, that would certainly be something we could get. Yeah, that would be an avenue where would have huge advantages and as a result get an award.
And I think that there's something really nice in the the circular use of the facility. If we're able to take the waste and produce a product that generates an income that can then be invested elsewhere. It's some prime turf growing soil on the banks of the creek near the truck wash, and there is no shortage of wastewater or solids that can be used for fertilising. So something that we will certainly pursue.
It's also a selling point when we put that block of land up tender that we can show 147 trucks a month.
Yeah.
Sit there for an hour. Looking at them.
And I just a clarification I'll make. We did receive some correspondence, a complaint saying that the average watch time at other facilities is 3 hours, and that 1 hour was a lie. As we regularly report, it is the average washdown time. So it might take 3 hours to do a road train, but if somebody's coming in with their little medium rigid truck and they're doing 20 minutes, then obviously that brings the average down.
Maybe our local truckies are just more efficient.
Efficient.
Yes.
That's a bit of truck wash.
Any more questions?
A couple of questions on this report. Whitfield Place at Bingra, there's gutter and layback happening.
Yes.
Didn't that happen several months ago as well?
It's been a work in progress. This report was written 3 weeks ago. It is complete now.
I thought was it redone from before? No?
No, it wasn't reworked.
Okay, right. Section.
Yeah.
And the other thing is these problems we're having with the small tips, I assume. Can we put some signs up and maybe prosecute some people?
Yes, I spoke with Martin Ladmore, who manages our landfills, yesterday about this matter, and the lock at Crop Creek has now been cut and disposed of for the 4th time, and the gate's left open. It's actually quite a process for us to get another lock. They're expensive. They've got to be programmed. They've got to have everybody's codes in them. So I suggested to Martin, well, let's put some security, some covert cameras up and put a new lock. He wasn't particularly enthusiastic about it because we're just throwing good money after bad, trying to get people to do the right thing. And if they lose that landfill, the blowback will be significant. And if they lose it, it will be because of people doing things like cutting the lock and leaving the gates open, and then not following the directions within the landfill itself.
Yeah, I just think that you give people fair warning. We're going to catch you and maybe prosecute.
We have to catch them.
If you've got some cameras up and some signs. So
And then they have to be actually done when we do catch them and have them, something has to be done with them and
They're pretty blatant. One instance and nothing happened. Like, couldn't have been any more obvious who it was, and I never heard anything back about prosecution with the
a
police.
bit like our
Like,
they reported it.
right, in my brief, dealing with it, I did, yeah. But nothing came of it. But it's not always easy to capture them either. Are they right photos? I think that was from over the border. Right.
We have registration details.
Yeah.
There. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
But someone
And it's
must
even
give them
harder
the
with
code.
Yeah, it's even harder when it's over the border because we can only look up the registration of people in New South Wales.
Someone must give them the code to get in there.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes people just let them in because they're there and think that they're local or something like that.
Someone at one stage, weren't they? They were selling the codes, weren't they? That was in the very beginning.
Enterprising. Yeah, they might.
So maybe we could do what do you reckon, Sean? A letterbox drop out that way and say, really look after your chips because you're going to lose it.
Carol and Solomon.
Yeah. Maybe we could draft something and
Yeah,
say,
we'll do that.
and we can leave it at the, Carol,
So
to just say, lose, if you don't look after it,
Yeah.
it's going.
Yeah.
Because like 4 locks,
I don't know how they stop people like.
border.
having town
Yeah.
boarding it.
Surely, but once again, I mean, I think if you had a prosecution, wouldn't it?
That's
mate?
up to us.
No,
Well, no, it's up to the police, but if we've got them on camera clearly doing it and they've got signage that they know that it's illegal and they're doing it.
The amount of evidence that we had that pointed to particular people when it came to the theft of $40,000 worth of grader wheels and tyres, that resulted in, as far as we're aware, zero action from the police. Makes me think that their action on Lockwood, a few $100 in Crop Creek, Cleanfield will be even less. It's a real frustration.
I think the best hope we've got is to let the community know that their tip is at risk and they be like the orange police in bingo with orange trees, empower not empower the community to be vigilantes, but let them know that their it's not a landfill, is it? It's a station. It's a landfill.
What's the landfill?
Landfill is at risk, then the community might take ownership and start defending it in a way or letting us know more.
So the law just doesn't, so you're saying the law just doesn't send a kit. So they can put an ABO on someone like me and slap it on, I can't have guns for 10 years. Right? Couldn't do that quick enough. But they won't prosecute some idiot who breaks into a tip.
Or pinches,
Trespassers.
greater tyres worth 40 grand.
That's been our experience, yes.
It's a bit unworkable, isn't it? If you're a local government organisation.
We've never had a follow up on those 40 grand worth of tyres. Never come back to us.
Terrible.
Like the inspector in Inverell, you couldn't get a nicer bloke. Maybe you should ask him to come along. He's a great one.
He's emailed me a few times about different things.
If you had them on video, it wouldn't take a lot of resources, would it? To locate them if you've got the red Joe and everything.
Okay, any more questions for Alex? Could I have a mover and a seconder for that, please? Councillor Bishton and Councillor Crispin. Those in favour say aye. Okay, we move to page 55, Business and Strategy Report. And Justin Hilmer, Director of Business and Strategy, will take questions on this.
It's the illuminated sign for 12,500.
Yes. It will go in soon.
That's ours.
That's ours. That's the one outside.
Are you going to approve it?
It's done. Yeah. We haven't done it yet because the sign down here was broken for a long time and it's the same people and it wasn't getting repaired. So they held the ransom to fix that before we continued on with this one, which is now fixed yesterday, I believe.
Yeah, it was working this morning. What we're here to do is read them.
Any more questions for Justin? Okay, could I have a mover and a seconder for this, please? Councillor Coleman and Councillor Sherman. Those in favour say aye. Okay. Oh, the officer's recommendation is that report be received, sorry. So we move on to item 9.5 on page 75, Councillor's Investment Report, and Helen Thomas, our CFO, will take questions on this.
It's our standard report. Our new debt recovery system is working extremely well. We've had a lot of money coming in. once the IPNR documents are adopted today and the new rate structure is adopted, the letters will go out to all those impacted by a change in category. We're expecting some of those residents to call up and ask questions. So we put in that letter to talk directly to Karen McCarthy so everyone does get the exact same message, and the information is the same. No, they're just the rates, the letters. I did get an email this morning, so we've been through our interim audit, and for the first time ever, the audit office have actually advised that we won't be receiving an interim management letter because we've got everything sorted out, which is sensational, thanks to our awesome finance team that we've got and our IT people.
We're looking at each other one thing now. Yeah.
That's a big congratulations to you all.
It's
Well done.
fantastic news for the team. So
Any more questions for her?
How many unpaid rates have we had? Have we got lots or is it a little bit or?
it grew significantly due to the lack of effort that was getting put in by our previous debt recovery company, but that is being brought under control very quickly. I can get you exact figures. It's tricky because we've got also the overpayments as well. So the figures change drastically come July once the new rates notices go out. Anyone who is in front, their whole payment that's in front gets applied straight away. So then they're not in front anymore, but their rates are paid up for the year.
Yeah, and the interest rate's 9.5%.
Yes, that's gazetted. We get told what that rate is. We don't determine that rate. So yeah, finance will be cracking on to end of financial year and get everything sorted in the next couple of weeks. And
Any more questions?
Is the new online system working well or?
so we sent out everyone should have received an electronic notification about registering.
I registered, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually heard from finance how many people have took that up. Because I think we've got until the end of next week to get that registered with the Prince House to then work out how many we're actually going to save on postage and stuff, that people are just going to get it electronically instead of by mail.
Find out. How can people find out if they have done that or not?
I can get someone to check.
Ask them who pays your rates.
Yeah. What if they don't know? Not on this year.
Some of us understand.
Yeah. I will get them to check and we'll probably do another blitz of sending that out too.
So you got to register to be online to pay your rates on.
Yes. To have access, you can pay them online because it's only through your bank, but to actually register to log into our print house to get your rates notice, so you can get a reprint whenever you need.
And will that tell you whether you've paid your rates or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll be an up-to-date rates notice from what I believe, yes.
Any more questions?
I was talking to someone in Uralla the other night. Their rates went up. Their rates will go up $200,000 as a rural rate payer over 2 years. There's another one going up 100,000, and the average is about 30 or 40,000. One time, 52% it's going up over 2 years.
But have they got a special rate variation?
Uralla and Blue Moons.
Speaking of the power of social media, have you seen the social media posts about Uralla Council? They're interesting.
Yeah. What's that about?
Just disgruntled residents and ratepayers, and they're becoming a real force. Makes me nervous for the council.
Yeah. Well, some shops, if you work for the Shire or your coffee goes up 42%, the average thing.
And that's what's really sad. The attack's a strong word, but the staff, the staff are getting the blame in the community for the rate rise. It's really horrible, actually, because staff are just doing their job. But interesting to watch unfold.
Does that come from the sort of Greek energy zone stuff, maybe?
I think just ratepayers that are unhappy with the massive rate rise as they see it.
So we never sit here and have to impose 42%.
Please don't.
Any more questions? Okay, bear with me because this is a long one. The officer's recommendation is that the May 2026 monthly investment and rates collection report be received. Further, that in relation to ordinary rates, council adopts the 4.2% annual maximum rate peg as approved by the Independent Pricing and Regulatory Tribunal and in accordance with section 494 of the Local Government Act 1993, council make and levy the ordinary rates for the year 1st of July 2026 to the 30th of June 2027. Further, that in relation to water supply charges in accordance with section 501 and section 502 of the Local Government Act 1993, council make and levy the charges for water services in 2026-2027 as stated in the 2026-2027 operational plan. Further, that in relation to sewage services charges in accordance with section 501 and 502 of the Local Government Act 1993, council make and levy the charges for sewage services in 2026-2027 as stated in the 2026-2027 operational plan. Further, that in relation to waste management charges in accordance with section 496 and section 501 and section 502 of the Local Government Act 1993, council make and levy the annual charges for waste management services in 2026-2027 as stated in the 2026-2027 operational plan. Further, that in relation to interest and overdue rates and charges, council make and impose the following maximum charge for interest from 1st of July 2026 to the 30th of June 2027, being 9.5% as determined by the Minister of Local Government in accordance with section 566(3) of the Local Government Act 1993. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Courts and Councillor Sherman. Those in favour say aye. It took me a long time to write that, I must say.
That's one of the most important ones, because if we don't do that, you can't levy bigger rates.
Very good. Now we move on to item 9.6 on page 99, integrated planning and reporting draft documents. Have we got Casey coming?
No, you've got Lee.
Okay, Leah will.
So
go
these
through this.
documents have been on display, and as at close of business yesterday, there haven't been any comments. So we're putting them in front of you again to finalise as working documents. Happy to answer any questions about the IPNR planning process or anything in the content of the documents, but these are why we do what we do. And the operational plan is your plan as the elected council, the operational plan delivery program, the 4-year delivery program. So they are very important, but our community must be happy with them because we haven't heard anything.
Any questions? Very good. Okay, another long one. The officer's recommendation is that council adopt the 2026-2027 operational plan as advertised. Further, that council adopt the 2026-2027 delivery program review as advertised. Further, that council adopt the 2026-2027 fees and charges as advertised. Further, that council adopt the 2026-2027 statement of revenue policy as advertised. Further, that council adopt the 2027 to 2037 community strategic plan as advertised. May I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Trump and Councillor Collins. Those in favour say aye. Thank you. Now we move on to item 9.7. On page 265, which is the National General Assembly 2026 business papers. And Justin Helmuth, Director of Business and Strategy, will take questions on this.
Don't ask me too much, it's just been there for an FYI for next week, really, and just to formalise that. Him that it was probably going to be the one with the voting panel, so. Quite rude.
And those that are coming to Canberra will,
You can talk. Which you'll consult with.
Interesting to see what other councils have going on. Obviously, Brisbane's got a problem with pets.
yeah. Lots and lots, and you'll see a lot of it's been,
Bundled up.
yeah, and put together, and that's why anything that you might put in that you think is a motion, they might not, like of ours, mightn't have gone forward because there's others in that are exactly the same.
Or it just goes along with the National General Assembly.
Yeah.
General.
It might be something to keep on your radar for as you go through the year for motions that can go to the National General Assembly. We've had very few in the past, so we don't want to have 1,000 either. But if there's something important to this council, this is the forum that we can certainly put it up for. So give it consideration over the year, and yeah, we can.
We did have
get
a few last year, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
couple, yeah.
How is that last year?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the right forum, but what about your competition, your awards for shires under a certain amount if you put in another category?
That'd probably be lobbying directly to local government professionals, which we should do anyway.
I made a note to actually write to them about that when the discussion was happening earlier in the meeting.
Any more questions? Okay, the officer's recommendation is that council notes the 2026 National General Assembly business papers. Further, that council authorises council's voting delegate to exercise the vote at the National General Assembly in a manner generally consistent with council's adopted strategic priorities, advocacy positions and the interest of the Gwydir Shire community. Further, that council nominates the mayor as council's voting delegate for the 2026 National General Assembly motions sessions. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Crispin and Councillor Coleman. Those in favour say aye. Thank you. Now,
I just got word the full-time equivalent wage is 197 currently.
So,
I think it's about 250, but when you take out all our part-time, it's 201. That's full-time equivalent.
And that's the figure that you'll hear quoted when you talk, is the equivalent full-time numbers.
Sorry.
no, that's okay. We move on to page 437, which is item 9.8, Bingra Admin Building Report, and Helen Thomas, our CFO, will take questions on this.
So this is just a report that was requested from council a few meetings ago. I'm just showing you what the contract value was, the variations, and all I can say is it's bloody wonderful that we're all in there now, and it's working extremely well.
I'd end up just over 6.1 million
Just under. Just over, sorry.
X.
Yep.
And 150 is withheld for 12 months.
So that's paid in, I'm sure it said June next year, but it'll be before then. It'll be 12 months from whenever the last defect, like once we signed off that all the defects are still
From when the
there.
AC was issued.
We have had one lot of, one guy's been in to note down all the defects. Some of them have been fixed, and I know there's others that have got, like some of the doors that don't close quite properly. It's the aluminium people that have got to come back and do that, and I don't think they've been back yet. So
Oh, so project that size, you do get some defects.
I don't figure it doesn't have a breakdown of costs for the facade, because I think that was another question that was asked. Retain that facade, shade for an end of estimated at $152,934.
Any more questions? Okay, could I have the officer's recommendation is that the report be noted, and could I have a mover and a second, please? Councillor Crispin and Councillor Christian, those in favour say aye. Thank you. So the next one we're going to move on is 9.10, financial assistance grant reallocation, the plant replacement, page 1 of the additional items, and Alex Eddy, Director of Engineering Services, will take questions.
Appreciate if a lot of this report was seemingly written in a foreign language. The way our roads budget works is reasonably complicated, and there are about 6 buckets all told that we draw from to carry out our routine maintenance and construction program through the year. One of those is Roads to Recovery, which I'm sure you would have heard me talk about before, which is the federal government initiative that benefits us to the tune of there's $1.5 million this year, ramping up to $2 million in the 28 financial year. In order to get that 1.5 million this year, and whatever they're offering in any year, we have to spend a certain amount of money of our own funding, which is $1,071,983. And the intention of that is that this roads recovery was never intended to replace council's existing spending. So sure, you can have the money, but you still got to spend a certain amount of your own money on roads. Now, because we've been so heavy with grant funding this year in the road space and in disaster recovery funding, we haven't spent an awful lot of our own money, or haven't spent enough of our own money on a road network. We've been busy all year. There's just been other people's cash that we've been able to spend. That's created a problem because if we don't make an adjustment to where our budget is sitting now, we will underreport for the year and we'll be in breach of the guidelines of the program. The workaround is the roads component of the financial assistance grant, which is a federal government grant given to, I think, all councils in Australia. While it's been our practice for as long as I've been with council to spend all of that roads component on roads construction, and it is required. It actually is untied, so we can spend it on whatever we like. In the current budget, which council has adopted, all of that budget is to be spent on roads. To tidy things up and to get ourselves in a situation where we will meet our roads recovery own source obligations, we just need to reallocate $1 million of that roads component to something else within the organisation. What we're suggesting is plant replacement. We have got a decent backlog of out-of-date plant, particularly light vehicles, but also we have very high dollar items like graders and jet patches that are all falling due in, actually they're overdue, aren't they, Pete? So in terms of looking for something that is fairly closely aligned to roads, the machinery that will build it, it's a pretty good, I see it as a pretty good place to reallocate funding. It really doesn't change much in terms of what we're going to deliver for the rest of the year because there's only 12 days left of the financial year. We have a tender that is live at the moment through local government procurement panel for a replacement grader, expecting that to be in the region of $600,000 to $700,000. I'll know about 2 o'clock today what the responses are for that. And the remaining funding we're notionally allocating to the purchase of at least 1 water cart. We've had, I think, 3 hired water carts for almost 2 years just to keep up with flood damage work. And then there's a number of smaller items that we plan to purchase. Any questions on that? There is mud.
So the officer's recommendation is that council reallocate $1 million from the roads component of the financial assistance grant for the 2025-2026 financial year to plant replacement. The 2026-2027 2027 financial year onwards, the roads component of the financial assistant grant will be applied to roadworks only, except where explicitly resolved otherwise by council. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Gill and Councillor Coleman. Those in favour say aye. Yeah. Now we'll move on to councillor reports. So let's start with Councillor Coleman.
Just one criticised people wondered about the AED. Maybe there's one in the fire truck, but it's always locked up in the fire shed. Just wonder if there's anything grant wise can be done, but possible.
Give that one with me.
I don't. It's more of a central place,
Yeah.
you know, for general public.
Is there a list?
There was a list because they know they did them up because I remember back before they moved them, don't they? If there's no minor league or senior league on, they move them somewhere else.
Yeah, and recently we've just had to go around and order them for the ambulance as well, so that they know where they are. But I think we're putting them on a public map that will be available.
What about batteries on those?
They should be checked every 6 months.
Be checked regularly.
Because we had a guy have a heart attack a couple of weeks ago. There was no AED there. There was a spot for it, but the council take it away.
There was a lot recalled there at one point, which because of the batteries in them, and you just had to leave them in circulation and hope that it worked. Essentially, they took them ages to replace them, but they didn't have enough because there were so many. They didn't have enough in stock to be able to go and replace them. So we've finally got them replaced. So it should be finished.
So Shannon? So Gil.
Yeah, very was pleasure to attend that ceremony there, Proper Creek. Seeing so many.
It's lovely, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was great. It was really, really good seeing that multinational people there. That's just probably about 50, 60 odd people, but like most of them from different nations. That was great to see that. Yeah. And yeah, other than that, it's good. People still are questioning about and what's the progress about the Memorial Hall here in Borealia. And
Somebody?
I'm going to have to blame Alex on this one because it's jargon to me.
Okay. Justin commissioned a geotechnical report, a geotechnical investigation and report. We got that report last week, and it doesn't really come as a surprise. The soil underneath that building is of extremely poor quality and is extremely reactive. And it's currently in a fairly wet state, and the foundations of the existing building are not adequate for that long term. I think we can say fairly safely the talk about us taking away the pump and the sump that was underneath the building across the road to build the park has not influenced the movement of the buildings. I say that for two reasons. One is that there was movement in all of the buildings along this street well and truly before we started that development. But secondly, the boreholes that they dug, which I think they dug to a refusal at 6 metres, they didn't fill with water. There wasn't water present. The soil was quite wet. The interesting part of the report for me was that from a fully dry state to a fully saturated state, they have calculated that parts of the building will move by 170 millimetres, which is quite significant. The geotechnical report has been forwarded to some structural engineers to provide us with some options for shoring up the foundations. It didn't recommend resin injection and lifting the buildings. I personally think that can be a little bit dangerous unless you do it when you have equilibrium moisture in the soil. If you do it when it's wet, do the resin injection and it dries out, well, then it can just sink again. And the reverse happens if you do it when it's dry, things get wet and it swells and you've resin injected a section of the building that's only going to lift again. So it's a bit of a watch this space. I think unfortunately none of the options that are on the table at the moment, and it's probably premature to say what all of them are, but none of the options on the table at the moment are quick fixes or cheap fixes.
I came up with the same conclusion.
Yeah.
It's not really-
Yeah.
And the last couple of meetings, the lights at the back part of the park, and that has an.
I'm looking at that. I'll follow that up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
there was another fight last Tuesday there, so.
Height.
Why, and we couldn't find it, or we just screaming and on going on at the back of it in that place, and I don't know if someone was trying to mug someone or so screaming was happening, and I just ran out from the shop and looked at it and only saw 2 kids running around, but it's just a dark spot and the tobacco shop doesn't have like. So, I mean, like certainly help.
I'll find out where that one got to.
Hopefully we're going to have some more police presence. They said to. At all. That's it. Thank you. Councillor Bishton.
I have a couple of things in confidential, I think.
Just the Roxy, the back step leading from the courtyard to the toilets. I was approached again about putting a disabled sticker down to help people that are vision impaired.
Tactile marker.
Yeah, I brought it up a few meetings ago, but I was just approached to say that it has been
It
done.
was another building services list, but I'll follow up and see why it's not done.
That's it. Councillor Collins.
Quite a bit. Share these photos with you. I did a farm visit up at Upper Horton the other day, and this is the first thing the lady gave to me. It's the Welcome to Warrior Elder sign. It's disgraceful. It's covered in mould, rust. Not Warrior Elder, sorry, Gwydir. But pass around and have a look. It's pretty third world.
Thank you.
Yes. Councillor Collins, we've been wanting to replace these for a while. It's been something we've been kicking around, trying to find an appropriate design. That's probably the worst of them, but I'm going to issue an instruction now for those to all be pulled out.
Even if they go and clean it, there must be utes of cars that go up there regularly to check out boundaries. They must see that when they check out boundaries.
On the highway run, they would probably turn around right about where those signs are, but I couldn't say which side of them.
There's new ones.
We'll have them removed. They are an eyesore.
Big congratulations to North from Cropper Creek. They're extremely happy with the seats and the cover that's going out there, so they wanted to pass that on. Is looking good. Any progress on the one for Gravesend?
I think they've been procured. There's been no concreting works done yet.
The EV station, when you were talking about bad lights behind the hall, have we looked into the feasibility of moving the EV station to the green space in the?
Yeah, and I think there's funding going around at the moment for us to be able to put another one in that area. I think the model's been working on.
I think it'd be used more up there. People know it exists and it's probably safer and modernise the place.
I'm not sure where that is settling.
North Star, got a few from North Star. Kathy's Corner, they're a bit concerned about Kathy's Corner at the moment in regards to loose gravel and just the state of that corner. If we can have a look at that.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Yeah, right.
Just needs to be swept.
I think so, and like you said, it's a bit of a
Is that the proper road next shopping too?
yeah.
Okay.
Right above it.
Yep.
If we can issue any orders to clean up the old hotel at North Star, it's got to the point where it's just a disgrace, just in appearance, and it's a vermin hazard, they tell me, and it's also a fire hazard with the rubbish that's around it. I don't even know who owns it, to be honest. I'm sure we've got deeds to show that.
Yeah.
And while we're cleaning that up, we're asking for it to be cleaned up behind the transfer station. They said it's become a bit of needs a good clean up. And their final question is the caravan park. Who's actually responsible now? Because the caravans are cleaning it themselves. So people stay there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll start, that's leased to. Yeah, the Vicarage.
They must be doing it. Yeah, so I don't know if we can see if they're actually cleaning it or maintaining it. I had a caravan at some weekend here, plus someone up at North Star, so it was pretty awesome. The tag along caravan group that came to Warrior, they spent about 30 grand, so that was a great injection to the town. And we had a heap of positive comments about how clean and friendly the Shire is, so that's a good reflection on our community.
You did a lot of work for that too, Mick, didn't you? So congratulations on that.
It's rewarding work though, because it's good that everyone gets a cash injection and
Yeah,
they spend.
congratulations for getting that all out there.
Yes. I was driving out from Moree early this morning, and there were Shire cars on the side of the road, and I wondered what they were doing, but they were pulling dead roos and that off the road. Do we do that between here and Binger and on that corner?
We do. It's, as you can appreciate, at the moment, it would be a full-time job for a crew to be making sure everything's off the road all the time. We do have a statutory responsibility to do it. It's just a matter of finding enough resources to do all of them.
It was just this bloke was actually doing potholes, so they were the tar truck, and one of the blokes was actually pulling roos off the roads, which is very proactive. I take my hat off to him.
What would we want to do?
No, I mean they're freshly killed. They haven't been sitting there for weeks.
There was somebody put a post up a few weeks ago, but by the time, if you've had someone just going out and driving all the roads and because there's so many at the moment, there'd be something else. Road wouldn't be graded and everything like that. So I think they're doing what they can.
Yeah.
It's always been an instruction or an understanding that our operations crew pull roos off when they're going to or coming back from jobs as they see them. They're not always doing it, so it's nice to see that that's being done this morning.
Well, that was more Shire.
Oh. Okay.
Straight stretches, fair enough, but dangerous corners. I mean, I sometimes do it myself. If they're fresh, at least you don't smell anything, but it's pretty dangerous on some of those corners. The truck's coming big through in the middle and they start swerving. The last one is I've been approached by a few people. They're real keen to have a car show in Warrialda, but I encourage them to come and speak to who they have to speak to. They're a bit disgruntled with the reception they got. I'm happy to help them as much as they can and see what we need to do, but their aim is they wanted to close the main street in front of the newsagents at first. I said that might not be viable, but maybe we could block off or put witches' hats out so they can park their cars in front of the post office and green space, and then fill the green space up with cars. But there's a group of about 4 or 5 of them. They've all got old cars, obviously. They're just finding it a bit hard to make it happen.
Is this on top of the Honey Festival? Is this with the Honey Festival?
No, they want to do their own now. I think they looked at the Honey Festival and said that's too hard, and they just want to do their own now.
Well, I've had conversations with Robin Williams, who is part of that group, only yesterday, and they are going to still look at doing a display at the Honey Festival.
Yeah.
But he didn't mention anything to me yesterday about doing a separate event.
It was yesterday they approached me.
Yeah, right.
But we will definitely make it as easy for them as we possibly can and give them support.
So I'll bring him in. Who do I take him to?
He's actually already got a meeting with Carmen and Courtney next Monday.
Yeah. That's not Robin I was speaking to, but he's probably speaking on their behalf, I suppose.
Yep.
So if the group can come in to that meeting and either, or we'll be in Canberra, maybe put it off for a week and we'll. Can we talk about that in a week? Yep, we'll coordinate something.
That's all I've got. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Crispin.
I don't have any requests. We just want to congratulate all the students that have being nominated for the Willoughby Exchange. I mean, exciting for them to go out
Yeah.
and see Sydney and sort of welcome the ones that are coming to visit.
Always a great program. While we're talking about that, everyone would have received emails, I think they came from Tory, about the things that are on the Orange Festival weekend. Could everyone get those through today? You'll see a QR code to scan on your phone. Could everyone get the response back today? Just they need it for catering purposes. What you're going to, whether your partner's coming, it's got dietary in there, just so they know who's going to what. And even if you're not going, if you can respond so that they have apologies and things like that, please.
So if we have already responded by email, do we still need to do the QR?
Yeah, a QR code goes straight through to them and it's got all the dietary requirements. It's on that email and you just scan it and it's really easy. It goes through what you want to do. And it's just they've got everything there then. And apologies. Goes straight through, please. Okay. Break for morning tea. We might break for morning tea and then we'll come back for if there's no more further items, and then we'll come back for confidential. We'll go back into the meeting. Okay, it is recommended that the council resolve into committee of the whole with the press and public excluded to allow consideration of the listed items as provided for under section 10A 2A of the Local Government Act 1993 on the grounds that the report contains personal matters concerning particular individuals other than councillors. So we have to. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Sherman and Councillor Coleman, those in favour say.
Just swap the names.
Mayor and Council, I have some recommendations from the Committee of the Whole. First item is confidential organisation community services report. The recommendation is that report be noted. The next item was the one transferred from the ordinary meeting, which was item 9.9, hired grader purchase. The recommendation from Committee of the Whole is that council proceed with the purchase of Caterpillar 150M grader, serial number B5500369 for $248,731, plus the attached Trimble GPS kit for $39,475.20, a total figure of $288,206.20, excluding GST. From Westrac without inviting tenders due to substantial rebates in higher fees, representing extenuating circumstances that would not result in a satisfactory outcome being achieved by inviting tenders. That is the recommendation from Committee in the Whole.
Can I have a mover and a seconder for that, please?
The recommendation should be
Councillor Fishton and Councillor Coleman, those in favour say aye. Councillor Fishton, did you have something?
It's an apology for next meeting. I've just got to go to Tom Curry.
Being no further business, I declare that the meeting closed at 12:12 p.m. Thank you.